Hi, this is Katie. Tonight has not been a good night, honestly. And I just recorded some footage on my phone a couple hours ago because I was out and I didn't have my camera. And I just want to show you that footage from my phone and then kind of give you a couple updates from there. So yeah, here's that footage. This is on my phone and it's raining and it's nighttime, but this is what we have. I don't have my camera with me. But my car just broke down and I just wanted to document just a tiny bit of it. I was driving to the grocery store and a bunch of my lights on the dash came on, and so I started to pull over at the next exit, and then my car started to stall and my power steering went out. And if you watched the video from a week or two ago, this exact thing happened to me a year ago, and I got a new battery and everything was fine. But now, if you've been following along over the last couple weeks with me talking about my car, my battery light has been on and off for the past, I don't know, month or so. And I've gone to a Jiffy Lube and 2 Toyotas, and they all said that everything was fine. Everything was checking fine. Nothing was wrong. Like, all 3 checked everything. Like, your car is working perfectly. And I'm like, then why is the light on? I was gonna go to Jiffy Lube this week because I have a 24-month warranty on that battery that they gave me just a year ago. So I was gonna go back and just ask them if they could replace my battery just in case. And I was gonna do that this week. But then today, went to the grocery store. Well, actually, we already went to a couple. Like, I already have groceries in my car because I already went to a couple grocery stores. I had one more to go to pick up one thing that I wanted just from like a different grocery store. And then, yeah, my car stalled and my power steering went out. And I kept it off for a little while and then tried to start it, and it started, and the power steering still wasn't working. And then I shut it off for a few more minutes and then turned it back on, and the power steering was working. So I was like, oh, maybe I can drive it. And then no, that lasted for like 30 seconds. So I'm just parked in some random parking lot. I'm so scared to leave my car here overnight, but it's like 7:30 on a Sunday night. I'm not gonna try to get a tow. I already looked at like my roadside assistance and they're like, we have like a high demand right now. It would probably take hours. I'm so anxious right now, and I'm so like angry and upset because I've gotten my car checked out so many times where I'm like, oh, it's fine. And I'm like, no, but then why is the light on? Like, something's going on. And so my roommate's coming to get me, which I'm so grateful for. And I'm just gonna leave my car here overnight, which I hate the idea of doing. I hate that because it's just some random parking lot. Like, I don't even know if my car's gonna be here in the morning. Like, that scares me. And then in the morning I have to Uber or something, I guess, up here because it's Monday morning. And so I'm gonna have to get an Uber or something back up here. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, which is not a big deal, but it just adds to it, you know? Like, I can schedule a towing with my roadside assistance. And so when I get home, my roommate's gonna be here, I don't actually know when, like 10 or 15 minutes. When he picks me up, we're gonna go home, and I am going to schedule an Uber for the morning and kind of see how that goes, and then schedule my towing based on the Uber, and then try to figure that out. Because when this happened, I'm sorry if this story is so confusing. I'm like really upset right now, and so I don't know if I'm making a ton of sense, but basically when this happened to my car last year, I slept in my car overnight because it also happened at night. I slept in my car overnight, and in the morning it worked, and I was able to drive like 5 miles to a Jiffy Lube. It worked enough. I still very much needed a new battery, but I'm just saying that it turned on and I was able to drive like 5 minutes. And so maybe if it just kind of recharges a little bit overnight, maybe there's a Jiffy Lube or Toyota down the street. I don't exactly know because I'm not in an area that like I super am familiar with, but maybe I can just do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to get it towed. Like, I know all the next steps to take, but I'm just devastated. I'm so upset. I'm so angry that I've already gotten my car checked out several times over the last couple weeks because the light was on, and everyone's like, no, everything's fine. They checked everything. 3 different places checked everything. 1 Jiffy Lube and 2 different Toyota dealerships. And I think that you guys might know, like, I've lived in this car on and off for the past 10 years. So I'm really attached to my car. So it makes me like extra upset, but I'm really nervous. I'm really anxious, but I just wanted to update you guys while I'm in here waiting for my roommate. I'm very grateful that he can come get me, but I guess I'll just talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm so anxious. I'm so upset. Yeah, I guess I'll just talk to you guys tomorrow and give you an update. All right, bye. Okay, so I hope that you could like hear me and see me and everything on that footage, but basically my car broke down while I was driving it. And if you've been watching, you know, for the last couple weeks, I did a couple videos about talking about like when my car broke down recently and when it's broken down over the years. And more recently, my car battery light has been on and off, but it's been going on, and I've gotten it checked out by 3 different places and they all said everything was fine. And this week I was gonna go to Jiffy Lube again to see if they'd replace my battery. But while I was out, my car stalled on the highway, which was pretty scary. But I was able to pull into a parking lot. Like, my power steering went out, but I was able to pull into a parking lot. So basically after that, my roommate picked me up, which I'm so grateful for. My roommate picked me up, so now I'm home. My car is in some parking lot, like 10-ish miles from where I am. And if you did watch those videos from a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever it was, talking about my car breaking down, I mentioned that anytime I've been living in my car and I was on a road trip or I was on the road and I've ever had any trouble with my car, like it wouldn't start or anything like that, I kind of could handle it a little bit better than the times that I could handle it when I'm staying in one place. There is something about my anxiety that just has lessened in terms of car trouble when I'm living in my car. And I think that it's because like I knew I had to deal with it at the time. I could not procrastinate. And I know for me, the more I procrastinate, even if it's just a couple hours or a day, that increases my anxiety. And so when I'm living in my car and I have a car issue and I have to deal with it, I have to deal with it like right then and there. But when I'm staying in a house or an issue happens, you know, pretty close to where I'm staying, I think that since it does not have to be immediate, my anxiety immediately arises, which is just like an interesting thing for me. But anyway, the reason that I didn't deal with it tonight was because it was like 7:30 or 8 o'clock on a Sunday night in the rain. And I was like, well, Toyota's not open, Jiffy Lube's not open. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? If I call my roadside assistance, which I do have, I recommend everyone have it, especially if you're a traveler, but even if you're not, I need chapstick. This is EOS. I got it from Target. Hold on. So I think everyone should have roadside assistance. I personally have mine through my insurance, but there's AAA, you know, there's a couple different things you can do. But if I called them tonight, they could have jumped my battery, but since I don't know if it's just a battery issue, it could be something else. I didn't want to chance that at night in the rain on a Sunday night. And so I just kind of thought, at least my opinion of this was, it would be better to do during a weekday during the day in the sunlight. Tomorrow, the thing is, it's still supposed to rain all day, which is not a huge deal. It's just more of like an added, oh my goodness, are you serious? You know? So I scheduled an Uber for tomorrow morning, and I'm going to schedule a tow truck for right after that as well, and kind of see where to go from there, because I just don't know what's going on. Literally this week, and I hope this story makes sense because I'm very stressed out, so I don't know if I'm explaining the story very well. And I'm sorry, I'm probably going to repeat it a lot because I know I repeat myself in general, but I know that I do it even more when I'm stressed and like overwhelmed. But my battery light has been going on and off for the last few weeks, and I've gotten it checked out by one Jiffy Lube and 2 different Toyotas, and they all said everything was fine. And so I was going to go back to Jiffy Lube this week anyway because I got a new battery last year and it has a 24-month guarantee on it, or warranty or whatever on it. So I was thinking of going back to Jiffy Lube and just being like, hey, can you just change my battery for free? Thank you very much. I am not doing great. I know right this second, like, I'm kind of composed and talking to you guys okay, but it's been 2.5-ish hours or so since it happened, and I struggle with anxiety. A lot of you guys know that I have very severe anxiety and I'm very overwhelmed. I am very nervous about what's going on. I know that really most people might be a little nervous about leaving their car in some random parking lot overnight after it died on the highway, and after your car stalled, and after your power steering went out while you were on a highway and you had to pull over. I know that those circumstances would potentially cause some people anxiety or overwhelm or nervousness or scared emotions or anything like that. But I wonder if it's even more for me because my car has been my home for a lot of my life. I know I'm living in a house right now, but I still just consider my car my home because I've lived in it so much. I've traveled so much. I've gone on so many road trips, and I've slept in my car hundreds and hundreds of times. And so I'm sure that having car issues would stress out and make anyone sad, or not everyone, but you know, some people. But I wonder if what I'm feeling is even more severe because not only do I suffer with anxiety issues, but my car has just also been my home for so long. And so I hope she's okay. I don't know what's going on because every single time I've gotten it checked over the last few weeks, everything has been fine. But it's possible I just need a new battery. But obviously, it's possible something else is wrong. I won't know until tomorrow, and I'm gonna do my absolute best to not worry in an extent where I don't need to right now, which is super hard. Okay, I get that it's super hard, especially for people who have anxiety and stuff. But it's 9:45. I'm gonna just get ready for bed. I'm going to put on a TV show that'll hopefully distract me, and I need to wake up pretty early tomorrow, so I'm going to set 12 alarms. But honestly, when I'm anxious, I don't know about you, but when I'm anxious and I have an alarm, like, I will wake up more likely because of my anxiety. But yeah, so I will just update you guys, tomorrow. I'll kind of take you guys along with me on this journey, see what's going on. I really hope my car is okay, but I really won't know anything until potentially tomorrow. Honestly, it might even be days and days and days. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow and let you guys know what's going on. All right, good night. It's a little after 11, and I was just talking with my friends and like started crying, and it just like reminded me how much sometimes on here and on Instagram, obviously not always, but sometimes on here, I like almost sometimes belittle my feelings when like in reality right now, like I'm freaking out. And again, like I know some people, if they had car trouble, it would not even be a big deal at all. It might be a mild inconvenience. And again, sometimes when I was on the road and something like this happened, it still wasn't a big deal. But the fact that this has been going on for weeks and I didn't know what was going on, and then my car broke down and then I had to leave my car, especially for me, not only with my anxiety and everything, but with the fact that I've lived in my car for so long. Like, my car is my home, and like I really just don't like what's going on right now. I know some people might think I'm over exaggerating, and that probably is why sometimes I belittle my feelings, because I just don't want to cause issues. But in reality, I'm feeling like more anxious and more upset than I'm even showing right now. Like, I'm very nervous and I'm very sad and I'm very angry that I've gotten my car checked out so many times and everyone said it was fine, and then she still broke down. I'm not mad at her. I'm mad that nobody knew what was going on beforehand. And I just hope she's okay. And I don't like that I left her in some random parking lot. I hope she's still there. I hope she didn't get towed. I hope no one broke in. I just don't like all this. And I know a lot of that has to do with how severe of anxiety issues I deal with, but also just the idea that I've lived in that car. I've traveled with her. She's been to all the lower 48 with me. She has kept me alive. She has kept me safe. And I am very attached to my car. And I just hope that she's okay, and I hope that I get it figured out tomorrow. And obviously, everything that I believe, I still don't live out those actions 24/7. Like, I can believe in something and still mess up in terms of my actions, or mess up in terms of my emotions. So my beliefs are, right this second, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I have to go to bed soon because I have to wake up really early to go to my car and get her towed and help her. Like, that's what I have to do. I know what the steps are. But also, just because I know what the steps are does not mean that my emotions are not like running wild right now. And as much as I'm still a firm believer, as I don't want to always let my emotions dictate my actions, I still have emotions, like, I'm shaking my leg. I hope the camera's not taking too much on the bed. When I get anxious, I'm a leg shaker. I had someone call me a hypocrite today on Instagram because I was talking about my mental health and stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, everyone's a hypocrite sometimes with certain things. Like, as much as I can say, I don't believe in letting my emotions overpower my logic in terms of my decision making, that does not mean that I 100% of the time follow through with that. It means it's what I believe, and it's what I'm going to hopefully most of the time follow through with. But like, everyone makes mistakes sometimes, or falls back, or takes steps back, or gets confused, or gets overwhelmed, or gets anxious. Like, that happens. And so right now it's like, I know I just made a couple videos about how I was able to deal with certain issues with my car. And this one for me is the worst by far. And I'm not dealing with it well. Does that mean that I still don't believe that my logic should overpower my emotions? No, it just means that I'm a human being and I have these emotions and I'm like freaking out. And sometimes my brain just starts to think about every single possibility. And sometimes I understand that might not be helpful. And so sometimes I can get my brain to be distracted, and it's just, right this second, it's a lot. Basically, I'm very upset. And sometimes I get nervous sharing my emotions online because I don't want people to think I'm exaggerating or make fun of me or anything. But also sometimes when I am more likely to hide my emotions, I don't want people to think that I'm lying or that I'm hiding. When in reality, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to share because I don't know what's best to share. And so sometimes I get confused just about what to share, in all honesty. So right now, I just was like talking to my friend about tomorrow, and I'm just really nervous. And again, I know that some people are gonna watch this video and be like, you're overreacting. Why are you being so crazy? This happens to everyone. Like, why are you acting like this? Why are you being like this? Why are you being dramatic? I have really severe anxiety, and my car has been my home. So this is a really big deal for me. And again, I've been nervous about what emotions to share, but these are the ones that I'm sharing right now. And so I'm really nervous. I'm really sad. And I'm really scared. And I'm really angry at the other dealerships for not realizing that there's a problem when I've gone 3 times in the last few weeks. And then my car stalled on the highway again, just like last year. And my power steering went out. And I had to forcefully get my car into a parking lot right off of an exit. Literally so similar to last year when this happened, or a little over a year ago when this happened. But anyway, just sharing what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. But I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll give you guys some updates. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey guys, it is the next morning. Very obviously I'm not in my car. One of my friends really graciously picked me up this morning and is helping me deal with all my car stuff today. It's been a very, very, very stressful time. And again, I know that a lot of people deal with car issues, right? I just really do think it was a little bit more intense for me because I've lived in my car so much. I've road tripped in my car so much. It's the only car I've ever owned. It really means a lot to me. And so the fact that there are issues going on just really has stressed me out, made me very, very anxious. I did not sleep well last night at all. I woke up a little bit less stressed because then I knew, okay, I have to go do stuff right now. And so anyway, I'm actually gonna end this video now because I think this video is gonna end up being really long, so I'd rather just cut it into 2. And so this is Tuesday's video, I guess. So if you want the actual update and the end of this story, I hope that you guys tune in on Friday. I'll have that video posted on Friday. I'll tell you guys what the mechanic said. I'll tell you all about getting my car towed and stuff, all the stuff that I am going to be dealing with today. So I'll just have all of that update on Friday. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me today. Again, I know it was kind of an emotional roller coaster, but I just am so attached to my car that it's been a hard time for me. But I will let you guys know on Friday more updates. But yeah, I don't always want to let my emotions overpower me, but sometimes they do. And it's just been a really hard time for me. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you are subscribed. And yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Thank you again. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.